Hello and welcome, I'm Bronnie Ware. In one of my earlier vlogs I spoke about my afternoon chai routine, and some of you wrote in and asked me how I make chai. And so this video is not a vlog, it's just how to make chai. When I started on my chai journey, I was introduced to a blend from a friend, and then I went into trying to make my own blend, and I experimented a lot and I enjoyed some of the blends I made. But then I realized that a lot of people are actually called to make chai as a business, as their life's calling. And so I like the idea of supporting those people, and that set me off on a journey of trying all different blends. And I probably tried about 12 before I found the one that just surpassed everything else for me. But I will include the name of a really great Ayurvedic book, one of my favorite Ayurvedic cookbooks, with this video, so that if you want to make your own blend, you can see the recipe there. But it is a balance of which spices you like more and which you like less. So I use a locally made one, and it's a spicy chai. So not a sweet one, no vanilla in it. Some people really like vanilla. I like honey in it, I do like making it sweet, but I don't, for me personally, the vanilla sort of ruined the spiciness of it a little bit. So I just buy the loose leaf locally. You can buy chai in a tea bag and proper chai, but I sort of feel like part of the ritual is allowing the loose leaf tea to dance in the hot water. And so if you buy it in a tea bag, it's a little bit constrained, and I'm not sure the whole flavour will really flow as well as it could from loose leaf. So generally I do 1 teaspoon per cup, but because I've become such a chai lover, my cup is actually the size of 2 cups. So I do about 2 heaped teaspoons per cup for me. So if you're just doing a regular cup, start off initially and see if you want it strong or if you want it weak or however you want it, but use the 1 teaspoon as a measure and go higher or lower. Keep in mind, chai does have black tea, so it has caffeine. So if you have it too late in the afternoon, it could keep you awake half the night. So you also can factor that into your strength of it. Now, because I also love ginger, and I couldn't find a blend, this is a spicy blend, this one that I use, but I couldn't find a blend that was quite spicy enough for me, especially after I'd been experimenting for a while. So what I do is have a stack of ginger already blended. When I buy ginger, and I blend it up in bulk, and or cut it up or shred it, whichever, and then I put them into small containers and I leave them in the freezer, and then just have one out at a time and in the fridge, and then just take a little bit each time I make my chai. So that will give it a bite that is rarely found in the blends that other people make. So once you have those in, you want about half a cup. So because remember my cup is 2 cups, so I make it half milk, half water, but we start with the water and let it simmer and brew. So because my cup is a double cup, we go I do about a cup's worth. And again, it comes down to what you know. I know this saucepan well, and so I know exactly that about half of this saucepan works for me. But also because my hands and my wrists don't work like most people's anymore, just through disabilities, I tend to spill a lot. And so I actually factor in the spillage as well. And I don't know if is because my hands are disabled or because I'm just really shocking at pouring, but after 5 years of using this same chai pot, I am still spilling my chai. So this is not an Instagram perfect video or YouTube perfect video here. It's very human and very real. So now we have the tea and the ginger seeping in the boiling water. And now we take it over to the stove and we start the whole brewing. And if you can treat it as a ritual, it gives you a little bit of patience to enjoy the strengthening and the brewing of it, rather than, oh, hurry up, hurry up. So it depends if you're cooking with gas or electricity. But once you've put boiling water in, it doesn't take that long for it to boil back up again. And once it gets to boiling point, then we turn it down and allow it to simmer. And this is obviously where your control of how strong it is comes into effect. It's not only how much you put in there, but how long you let it brew for. So we just wait for it to boil, and as soon as it's boiled, we'll turn it down. Okay, so once you have it all simmering, and it's been in there for as long as you think, you'll have a smell and see what it seems like. Then you add your milk, which is about, again, half quantity of milk as it is for water. So I'm using almond milk today. Just go with what works for you and your body. And as soon as you add the almond milk, it will go off the boil again. It will slow down and takes a while to build back up again. Okay. Now at this point, it's a very special ingredient, cacao. If you like a little bit of a chocolate chai, now is when you would add it. Keep in mind again, cacao is like caffeine, like the black tea, and will keep you awake all night. So be restrictive, be a little bit discerning in how much you put in. I tend to just put 1 teaspoon that is going to cover the 2 cups of chai. A word of warning here, keep an eye on it. This is all part of the ritual, but keep an eye on the brewing process now, because once the milk is in there, when it gets to the boil, it boils over really fast, like. So we just let it brew slowly again, but the moment it starts looking like it's going to boil, just get it off the stove or turn your stove off. The first sign that it's going to bubble over on the side is you'll see the steam come up. And really you can take it off then, because it's as hot as it needs to be. Very soon after that, it starts bubbling around the side, and then boom, turn it off, because it's about to go all over the place. It makes a real mess. So then, depending on how your chai pouring skills are, I always do it over the sink, because, as I've said, I tend to have to allow for some spillage. I'm not sure I need you to see me pouring and spilling. What I normally do, and I'm going to do it now, because I've got to keep it real, is I just put the cup in the sink with the strainer. It actually helps me with my hands to be able to pour this way. And then just strain it in. And there is one beautiful cup of chai, but it's not quite finished. It almost is, but not quite. For those of you with a sweet tooth, like me, then it's some honey. Traditional chai can be really, really sweet. I think they would probably put a couple of teaspoons per cup, but I tend to just do 1 teaspoon per double cup. And when I'm traveling, I don't bother carrying honey at all, and I just have it without the sweetness. So it's sort of nice to have the combination of the two, and be able to just enjoy 2 very, very different experiences. So here we are, chai, and I'll head outside and enjoy this with you. Don't worry if your milk separates a little bit as well. I should have mentioned that. Some of the milks that aren't dairy milk will separate a little bit. Different blends of almond milk or soy milk or oat milk will separate sometimes. It's no big deal. It still tastes just as divine. I treat my whole chai ritual as a part of my deep commitment to self-care, and I encourage you to do the same. It is a transitional time in the day, and far more than just a quick cup of tea on the run. Taking a pause is good for the soul. I hope you've enjoyed my video, and especially, I hope you enjoy your chai.